Welcome to Modtalk!
Ah, yes, just what I was hoping for.
But really, a horker, some twine, 3 wood elves, and a hatchet? Points for creativity, if nothing else.
Greetings, listener! Oh yes, Cicero and the listener. On the hunt! Off we go!
Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of ASA Mod Talk. I'm your host, Kyle, here with the modding sage, Victor.
Hey, how you doing? I prefer like rosemary or maybe thyme. Sage is okay, but
Well, needless to say, you're spicy regardless.
Yeah, well, I try.
We're here to do a podcast on modding. Particularly, we're going to focus on, at least for the time being, on Skyrim and Fallout 4. Episode 1, titled Mods, Modding, and You, is going to focus on show format and give you guys some mods that we use, and also leave you with some tips and other information.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, let's start with the show formatting. Mod Talk's gonna go in 6 sections. The first section we'll do is Mod Talk, which will basically cover our topic for per episode. So this one's modding, and you. Basically, we're going to talk about modding as a generalization thing, because our audience could be anyone from that has never done modding to people that are far more proficient at it than we are.
Yeah, and all the different platforms and stuff like that, and whatever people, we're trying to cover as many of the most popular platforms anyway. PC, Xbox, and stuff like that.
Yeah, we'll have a little love for PS4 in there, but there's only so much we can do.
Yeah, sorry, folks. I love my PS4, but yeah, oh well.
And then the second section will be mod fix. That'll be getting your fix of just mods that we use or that we know of and we recommend for everyone to try. Maybe you're looking to find new mods or, expand your load order or whatever. So we'll just throw a bunch out there, give our, reasons why we like them, endorse them, and just to get more publicity for them. Third section will be the community spotlight. For our community spotlight, we're going to take someone or some people in the modding community, the matter of stature, that will cover, basically give some information on them and say what they do for the community.
Oh, yeah, that's great. There's all kinds of great, content out there done by so many people that are just, working really hard and doing it all on their own time. So yeah, they'd really deserve some shouts.
Oh yeah. We're going to saturate the podcast with praise for modders and and the like, because wow, I mean, it's just it breathes life into games that would normally have a very a much shorter lifespan.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, totally.
Our fourth section is going to be, we're going to call it fatherly advice. This is going to be Victor's baby. He's going to give us a little bit of advice on modding, whether it be, for the different platforms, maybe some safe tips or something useful.
I hope so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it will be. You've already schooled me several times. So, I'm sure it's there. Our fifth section will be the outstanding contracts. And I'll go over this more in depth once we get there. But basically, this is going to be a fun little game / homework assignment from the show that will also maybe win you something down the line. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to win.
Yeah, and we're gonna have currency. We're gonna have we'll set it up there. We'll leave it basic right now. Last section is going to be going elsewhere. Basically, that's our our outro section where we're gonna wrap up the show, give some shout outs to ASA, other ASA podcasts and goings on. Yeah,
it's where we all get to talk like Khajiit and make jokes about Argonians.
Yes, but there's already been a disclaimer: no purring. We won't be purring. No purring
Right.
at all during the
Right.
podcast.
And no hairballs.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah. We have to mute the mic for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get right into it. So let's start off with Modtalk.
I wonder what the talk around the water cooler was on the day before the bombs dropped.
Probably an excessive amount of mod talk. Okay, so here we are in Modtalk, and so Victor, what does modding mean to you?
Well, that's actually, I've been thinking about that a lot, and when I started playing the game, way back in, I don't know, mid 2012 or so, I was playing on the 360, and my oldest, who was also playing the game at the time, my whole family are big gamers, and in 2012 Sean was like 30 or so, and he'd been, he was playing it a lot, and so he said, one of the best parts about Skyrim and all the other, Bethesda games is the modding. And I was just getting back into, gaming after a few years off, and I thought, that sounds cool. So, but I didn't think much of it, and I still had a Mac, and about a year and a half later, maybe something like that, I finally said, I'm sick of console games. So I went out and bought myself a pretty powerful PC laptop, and that's when I started modding. So what does it mean? It means that every modded game is different, not just for the person who modded it, but it's also, you could almost have you and I could have the same mods, but we'd still have different games. That's the beauty of modding these games. It just makes them infinitely changeable, infinitely replayable, and no two games are the same. And that's what's so wonderful about it. So, and that's what it means to me, for sure.
Good, yeah, and my sentiments exactly. Yeah, basically, it's adding life or content to a regular game. A game that you may already love can be exponentially better, and that will change over time as well. My load order now, the mods I use now aren't the mods I used, a year ago, or 6 months ago, or in my current case, 10 days ago. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's the experiences change, and like you said, no two people's experience, even with the same mods, will be the same.
Yeah, and I was talking to somebody about it this afternoon, and in a lot of ways, it makes video gaming a creative process, and it's not just it's certainly a creative for the people who create the mods. That's very creative as well. But for me, I'm sort of I'm mildly interested in opening up the creation kit sometime and learning how to do some stuff. But for the most part, it's a tinkering thing. I just and it is a creative process. I've spent easily as many hours or more just farting around with the game and adding and subtracting mods than I have actually playing the game. I'm notorious for never taking characters much past level 20, and sometimes I'm lucky if I get past level 10, because I just like playing around with them. I'll say, that was fun for a while, let's try something else. So it is a creative process. So if you're a creative person, that's another outlet for you to tweak and massage the game in any way you want. And it does, but you don't have to, get into it that deeply either. You can just throw a couple of mods in, like maybe Ordinator or something silly like, Thomas the Tank Engine, and have fun with that too. So it's at all levels.
Yeah, you don't actually have to tweak and massage it just yet. You can, you can give it a compliment or something, start out slow, and then, then you can do all that with your game.
Yeah.
So yeah, and same thing here. Modding, it just adds an array of everything. You can be the person who loves the most immersion, or you can be the person, like you said, that wants to put Thomas the Tank Engine in.
Yeah.
That wants to, Macho Man Randy Savage coming down as dragons. Or,
I draw the line there. I'm sorry, but
you won't do
fine.
that. I've never had it, but I don't dog anybody for wanting that, because
right.
it's cool. It's something different.
Yep, no judging, just not for me.
Yeah. And as far as mods go, I would love to have the time, the patience, and energy and the discipline to do modding myself. But I've already, looked at it, looked into it, watched videos, and downloaded the creation kit for Legacy Skyrim, and looked into it, and I just,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
go-
my eyes
go
rolled
back.
back in my head. Yeah, it's totally. And there's lots of great tutorials out there, and it's just I just and some of them are done by extremely good, tutorial makers. It's just a matter of where you want to put your time. And for me, like you probably, I just thought, you know what, I got better things to do. I'd rather just grab a mod and try it out, or just play the game than actually trying to create one. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll leave that to the professionals, we'll call them.
Right, and that sort of leads into the other part of this section, and that is just giving props to the people who actually do create the mods, because they spend a huge amount of time, and I think for them it's a labor of love, and so they're doing it because they want to, but also they do spend an awful lot of time beyond that, supporting the mods that they make and answering people's questions and so on. So a really big thank you has to go out to all of those men and women who do that, because it is all volunteer. So whether you're Chesko, who created Frostfall, or the person who created a really nifty little mod called Better Jumping, it's, either one, it's great, so, and it's always appreciated.
Yeah, and modders may be an expert in one field. Like you may have a modder who's good at making textures, but doesn't know how to script at all. So he or she has to enlist help from other modders to help them create a full product. So, and they have to support, like Victor said, they have to support these mods. So if you're a texture artist, or if you're a scripter, if you may specialize in a particular field, and you create this mod, you get help from other modders to create your mod, and then you have to support it. You want constructive criticism from the community. You want your mod to do well, and you want to support it. But then you have 50 or 60 or 100 people in your comments section, yelling at you because your mod has a glitch in it or whatever. Well, you're gonna fix it. You need help to fix it, because you might not know how to script. It might be a scripting problem, whatever. So we as a community have to be should be patient with the modders, because they're like Victor said, this is all voluntary. They're doing this, and they may have just started out to want to do a mod for their playthrough, and they decided to share it with us free of charge to make our game cool too.
Right. I mean, and well, mods don't come with entitlements. I mean, they are always use at your own risk. So modding is at your own risk. And so it does require, that the user be aware of that. And if they want to do, some advanced modding, then they need to learn how. And that's very important. And that's one of the things we're going to be covering, in the fatherly advice section, perhaps, and hopefully pointing to places where people can go and learn more about how to mod well. Because we, here on an audio podcast, we can talk about it and we can give pointers, but it's a visual process as well. And so we're definitely going to shout out to sites and tutorials and anything we can find, any kind of content we can find to help people who listen here make their modding experience better and learn how to do it better, and get a good result.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's cover the us. Let's cover the end user portion of modding. And actually, Victor covered a lot of it right there, but let's basically go with pros and cons, because it is an as is thing. So the modders, they take the time, hundreds, sometimes thousands of hours to do mods, and then they share them with us. But there are certain things that we need to do on a regular basis, especially with limited tools and like as far as especially console mods, limited tools to do so.
Absolutely. What kind of tools are you talking about?
Something that you showed me that I had never used for PC modding, which I don't think as Loot's not up for SE as yet. Is it?
Yeah, it's available.
Oh, it is. Oh, excellent. Good.
Yep.
Okay. So for like PC users, they've had certain tools like Loot, which would optimize your load order as a tool that you can use, and you can bake it into your mod manager so that you can it helps you find out the best or optimal load order for your mods, because load order they don't stress it really on the consoles, but it's very important to how your mods work together.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, this brings up an issue or a point that I did want to get to, and that is, where do you get your mods? It makes a difference. In other words, let's say there's three major sources. One of them is fairly new, and that's Bethesda. Okay, so the Bethesda.net now has mods for PC, Xbox, PS4, but the big two prior to that were Steam and the Nexus. And in fact, the original really is the Nexus. Now, as anybody can probably imagine, knowing my background, I'm a big fan of the Nexus. So if you're modding seriously and you're going to mod using mods from the Skyrim Nexus or any of the other Nexus game sections, then you really, really need to learn how to mod, carefully and properly. And Loot is probably the top most important tool for that, because load order is absolutely paramount. Bethesda allows you to adjust your load order, particularly on Xbox. You can slide things up and down, but it's all manual. Using Steam, I am not an expert on Steam. As this show goes on, I think I'm going to go back to looking at Steam mods again. I haven't in literally years. I tried a few when I first started modding, and I found the experience, frankly, lackluster at best. So I stopped and went to the Nexus within a few weeks. I think I just left Steam behind and started using the Nexus. So that would be my advice to anybody who wants to mod seriously on PC. Just don't even bother with Steam. Just start with the Nexus and learn how to, go forward from there. But if you want to mod casually, then by all means, do stuff from Steam. And we can talk it. Maybe in the next episode, we'll talk about some of the dangers of using services like Steam and Bethesda. We don't have to get into that now, though.
Okay. Yeah. Those Steam in particular, I did use some Steam mods there for a while, but it's really for the very casual modders or mod users rather. Yeah. Because it takes care of you. It says, here, just pick a mod. We got you. Just when you start up your game, it'll update the mods for you, and it'll take care of everything. All you have to do is find the one you want and put it on there. Yeah. But with the convenience comes limitations, as far as, because a lot of modders won't put their mod on Steam, so you have limited selection and also limited access. So you can't see what's going on behind the scenes when you use Steam. Yeah, and also Bethesda.net with your console mods.
Yeah, and perhaps I shouldn't have used the word danger. I mean, it sounds kind of dire and everything, but at least the risks, I guess, is a better word. I mean, yeah, and for a long time, for instance, mods like Frostfall weren't on Steam for various reasons, and Steam had limitations, it had size limits, et cetera, and so yeah, and we'll, I think next episode we'll get into things like SKSE and stuff like that. That's always a fun subject.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because SKSE can, I'll tell you, I miss it. I mean, like making the jump to SE.
Yeah, totally.
And dipping my toes in the console mod thing just to try it out. I miss what SKSE can offer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not that I still don't have it with Legacy, but with the newer ones.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move away from Mod Talk section, and let's move on to get your mod fix.
Hey, buddy. Still looking to get that
mod fix?
Now, let me ride the high to where the site wants to take me.
Okay, welcome to Mod Fix. Now
Hello.
we're Victor and I. Yeah, hello. Sorry, I figured animated would be a good way to start it out. So let's go over some of our most recent mods. Like with Mod Fix, I think we can kind of normally go with a theme. You know, maybe we'll do stuff on maybe like mechanical stuff, like Dwemer for Skyrim, robots for Fallout and stuff like that. We can do thematic stuff later down the road.
Mm-hmm.
But for this episode, let's just basically go over some of the more recent mods that we're using. Not necessarily brand new mods, but mods that we're recently been using a lot. Victor, you want to start us out with some of the mods you're using?
Sure. I think I will. I'm just opening up SE here, or actually Nexus Mod Manager. I guess I'll talk about SE first, or at least in this episode, we'll talk about SE because that's the newest thing, and that's where so many new people are coming in from. Maybe they've never played the game before, or they haven't played it in years, and they're coming back to the game and they're playing SE only, and not Legacy, the original Skyrim. So some of my favorite mods that have become available over the last couple of months for SE are things like ELFX, Enhanced Lights and Effects. It's a great lighting mod. It sort of redoes a lot of the lighting, exterior and interior, all over Skyrim. It really makes a huge difference in certain areas. The direction of the lights, the light sources, things like that. You'll get some much more dramatic light, when you walk into places like Dragon Reach and in Whiterun. In the vanilla game, it's just it's almost like there's sort of, fluorescent light coves in the in the upper reaches of the Great Hall there. But when you have ELFX running, the light actually has sources, and the shadows are much more dramatic and different. And it's a really great mod. So it's highly recommended. Another favorite of mine is Climates of Tamriel. There's two great weather and lighting and exterior lighting mods for Skyrim. Climates of Tamriel is one, and the more recent one is Vivid Weathers. They're both great. I have a tendency to sort of fall back on Climates of Tamriel, and so that's what I'm using in my current SE playthrough. So those are two sort of environmental mods, if you want to call them that. I'm not going to blather on too long. For clothing, another great mod that's come over from Legacy Skyrim to SE is Immersive Armors. It's huge. It's almost a gig in size, but it's well worth it. It's a great mod. There's some of the texture mods, and we'll get into this in future episodes, I'm sure. A lot of pure textures can be rolled over from Legacy to SE without almost any trouble at all. So those things are, you can go back to your Legacy Skyrim if you're familiar with it and bring some texture mods right into SE without too much trouble. But anyway, Immersive Armors, great suggestion. And I guess last, I'll just bring one sort of gameplay altering mod into this discussion for SE, and that's Ordinator. It is probably the best perk overhaul. I don't want to say the best ever done, but it's got to be right up there tied with Percus Maximus. So I think Ordinator is just beautifully written. It's clean. It's smooth. It causes almost no issues at all ever. You can actually, it's not really recommended, but you could actually take it out of your load order and put it back in with almost no issues. It's so well done. You can absolutely add it to an existing game without any trouble at all. It's just really good. And the mod author is one of the people that we're going to be shouting out in one of the upcoming sections of the show. So I won't mention him, or I don't know if it's a guy or a man or a woman. I don't know. But anyway, so that's the last one I'll mention. But so those are some great suggestions for SE mods.
all those would be on PC, and I know at least some of those were on Xbox as well.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My apologies. I believe all the ones that I just mentioned are available now on Xbox One. Let's see, what did I mention? ELFX is, yep. Climates of Tamriel, I think is, yes. Immersive Armors just appeared recently. Ordinator was available for Xbox One almost immediately. And what else did I mention? I guess that's about it. So yeah, they're all available on console as well.
Yes. Yeah, and for Skyrim Special Edition, what do I got here? Okay, for Xbox and PC, I really want to stick with two, since I have separate mine in little sections between Skyrim, Fallout, the different versions and whatnot, and where, whatever. Since I separate them, I'm only doing like two of each. For this one, I had to do three because there's a lot of mods, a lot of people would call staple mods that I didn't use in Legacy because I ran mine on a laptop, which unlike Victor's was definitely not a gaming laptop. So I had to, I had to keep a lot of things I haven't been able to try until now. But now I got SE on the Xbox, and well, my 5 gigs is gone. So every time I see something come on Bethesda's net that I'm like, oh, I had that in my load order from Legacy, I gotta have it. Oh man, what do I have to delete? And
yeah, really.
And you can't have separate profiles. So now I'm like, okay, well, and I got to remember what I had for each game, and it's just a mess. But anyway, for SE, for Xbox and PC, the three I'm going to have is I Need Extended by Ahsoku, and Campfire by Chesco, also, like you said, also does Frostfall, and Bandolier, Bags and Pouches by Dragton.
Awesome. Yeah, all three great mods.
Yes, and these three mesh so well for me because I wanted to change a pace. Like I said, I didn't go too in depth. I've never done the Frostfall. I've never done any survival mods or anything like that. That was never really my thing, and they were something I was willing to part with for other stuff to run on my laptop. But Campfire, very seamlessly put into the game. For it, the way it works with I Need is beautiful. To be able to actually finally want to eat food, to need to eat food, which could be a pain in the ass sometimes, but at the same time, yeah, it's a lot more realistic than never eating, never sleeping. But Campfire makes that better. I mean, it makes it more enjoyable, I should say. You can craft stuff like backpacks. Who would have thought an adventurer might need a backpack to carry their stuff? Tents, and make campfires and all kinds of stuff. And to go along with those lines, the Bandolier bags and pouches makes it even more so. Like both of my characters that I have on SC now, both have backpacks. They're both wearing, not the mage isn't wearing a bandolier, but Bandolier mod also adds a bunch of different pouches and stuff. A thing for you to hold your vials for your.
I know, that's one of my favorites. I love that. It's such a great touch.
Yeah, aesthetically, it's just great. It's very customizable, and you can do it to your followers too. You want your followers to not only be able to carry more, but also look the part. Well, I got I forget what the guy from the Temple of Vermina quest was. That you can
Arandar.
Arandar, yes. I have him. Yeah, I have him. He's decked out. He's got a backpack on. He's wearing pouches, bandoliers. He's carrying his books around in the book holder thing.
Yeah, the book holders. Yeah, that's great. So, he's one of my favorite followers, by the way. I like Arandar a lot.
Yeah, and I never used him before. I never kept him after I think the first time I ever did that quest, I ended up not sticking around with him.
He's a badass.
So yeah, he's a good follower. So that's my 3 SE, Xbox, and PC mods. Now I did research one for SE for PS4. I'm going to try to look for one PS4 mod for each section every time we do this. That way we have something for our PS4 users. Sorry, we can't do more. Going to be limited. You're always limited when it comes to modding. Everywhere you go. Apologize for that, but it's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, I've got one too, so go ahead.
Okay, my PS4 mod is Sea of Ghosts, cool. Which is I had to watch a video on it and everything because I've never heard of it. And from what I understand, it's a PS4 exclusive. So yeah, which was strange, but that's cool to see too. They're getting a little love. Basically, it adds some land masses to the north of Skyrim, and you have to fast travel to these. But it'll also add some dungeons and some NPCs and stuff like that, all made with vanilla assets per the PS4 stipulations.
Yep.
And but it's like a mini little DLC. So yeah, it's a Sea of Ghosts by 13 Oranges, and check it out.
Yeah, 13 Orange is a I hadn't heard of it, but that's a recognizable name in modding. So I forget. We'll have to look and see what other mods he or she has made, but it's a recognizable name. So my PS4 pick. And by the way, in case people are wondering why, those of you who have PS4s may know why, but one of the stipulations that Sony imposed on mods is no external assets, like Kyle said. So it makes it very difficult to create new and interesting mods for the game. But my pick for PS4 is Smilodon, which is a combat mod written by the same person who wrote Ordinator, so you can be sure that it's tested and good.
Ooh.
And so I would highly recommend it. I believe that he or she, the modder's name is Enai Saeon, and he or she has created a ton of awesome mods. But I believe that I'll just refer to them as he. I believe he created Smilodon with PS4 in mind, because he has another combat mod called Wildcat. Smilodon, by the way, it's a alternate name for saber-tooth tiger. I believe that's where the name comes from. But Wildcat is his more complex, I guess, combat mod, but can't be used on PS4. So I believe he created Smilodon with PS4 in mind. So give it a shot. I haven't tried it, but combat mods are great. Really often adds a whole new dimension to the game. If you've played vanilla for a long time and you're looking for something different, then that's not just boosting it up to legendary. A combat mod will just make it a whole new game for you. So give it a shot.
Yeah, and Xbox and PC players, keep in mind that most of these PS4 mods will also be available to you.
Mm-hmm.
So with the exception of, I believe, Sea of Ghosts is definitely a PS4 only. That was nice to see them. 13 Oranges giving back to them.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, well, let's move on to Skyrim Legacy, the original Skyrim game, because I will never delete it. It will never leave me.
Nope.
There's just too much history, love, and a lot of mods. I had 200 plus mods for my Skyrim Legacy. At least at one point I did. So yes. So let's Victor, what do you got for your Legacy Skyrim?
What do I have for Legacy Skyrim? Well, considering that I've been collecting mods since I guess roughly sometime in 2013, in my mod directory in Mod Organizer, I have over 600 mods. Yeah, it's a disease. So I'm just looking at my current game. This is the guy that I'm recording my audio Let's Play with, he's a companion. So I am going to shout out the main mod that I have built that Let's Play around, and that's called Enhanced Skyrim Factions. It sounds like it's meant to be for all the factions, and maybe it was originally. I don't really know the history of it, but currently it is only for the companions. And what can I say? It's excellent. It really is. It's by a modder who calls himself Dream King Mods. I'm popping on the Nexus. It's only created really two mods: Enhanced Skyrim Factions, the Companions, and Enhanced Skyrim Followers, Aela the Huntress. And I've never used the Aela mod. So, but Enhanced Skyrim Factions has been around for a very long time. It was uploaded first in August of 2012. It's been fairly consistently updated. up until July of last year was the last update, which is pretty good, considering it's a complex makeover. Well, I guess makeover isn't really the right word. It's an enhancement of the companions. It includes a great deal of unvoiced new dialogue. So in my audio Let's Play, I'm reading those out and trying in my crude way to read them with some semblance of dramatic effect, but not trying to act them out. But it's extremely well written. So a really big shout out to that aspect of the mod. That's not... well, Kyle, you know this well enough. I mean, you've done voiceover work, and not all writers are created equal.
Yeah. Yes.
And so, but this guy or whoever he or she is a pretty good writer and has really thought out the backstory of the companions and really fleshed it out well. So I recommend it really highly to any PC modder. I'm afraid it's not available anywhere else. It's available on the Nexus. As far as I know, it's on the Nexus only, and it will require a new character, a new game, a new save, but I recommend it very highly. So Enhanced Skyrim Factions is my legacy pick.
Okay. And on that note, like you mentioned, some dialogue is not exactly written great in some mods.
Yeah.
And and that might not be the modder's strong point. Maybe they're great at building world space, or they're great at making things look awesome. They're just not a great writer, but they want to share this. Yep. And so, okay, that might fall short in certain areas, but great writing is fantastic. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with stuff with vanilla characters, vanilla NPCs that are already voiced, then you're limited. If he would have had somebody voice act that part, the addition that he added, it would have just, I would rather read it.
I agree 100%. You're 100% right. Yeah. It would have, because you'd either have to voice over the NPC completely or try to match the voice. Yeah, it wouldn't have worked. So no, the way it was done was the right way. But yeah. Okay,
my legacy Skyrim picks are two of them. Here's one I'm missing. I'm missing so bad right now. With SE is Guild Starter.
Oh wow, that's so cool, because I've always wanted to try it. In fact, I have it in my mod collection. I've never actually used it, so let's hear about it.
Guild Starter is by Sako816, and it's fun. It's simplistic, yet at the same time it gives you so many choices. So basically, you can enlist pretty much anyone in the world space, a Legacy Skyrim, to come join your guild. And not only can you try to get them to join your guild or make them join your guild, by the way, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. You have this, once you install the mod, and I would recommend you do it with a fresh save, you get this tablet, this Guild Starter tablet thing. Basically, it's the Dragonstone from Bleak Falls Barrow. You throw it anywhere in the world space, wherever you're at. I wouldn't recommend anywhere, but in one of your player homes, or my most recent one, I threw it. I'm doing a mod called Helgen Reborn, which we'll cover some other time. Great mod. And I put it there when I'm rebuilding Helgen. I put it there because I want the people I enlist in my guild to come join me in my newly reformed Helgen. So I put it there in the training yard, and that's where they'll all gather. And so all your not your followers, because your followers will still do their following directives and whatnot, but you can have your followers, you can assign them to your guild and have them do guild things. But basically, anybody you have assigned your guild will go to that space, and that'll be your guild headquarters. And you can tell them to do things. You can tell them to patrol your guild headquarters. You can send them out on missions to gather supplies. You can send them off to aid people that are in need. You can send them off to do all kinds of good or menial tasks. It makes it fun. It makes it, you're not just don't have a bunch of people just standing around. Now you can also add things with other mods to the area that they'll go and interact with. You can have your player homes and put your grindstones and all kinds of other stuff that they'll do, or you can put them to work. Put the Jarl to work. I would check it out for Legacy Skyrim. It's been great. I've done it on. This will be my third character on Legacy Skyrim doing a guild with. Very fun. My second mod is more along the lines of a fun, just get out and have fun mod. It's Predators: The Lost Tribes by Dave Brown.
Yeah.
Now, if you want something that's a little more serious than the Thomas the Choo Choo Train and the Randy Savages and all that stuff, but you still want to have fun and maybe do some stuff that's definitely not immersive at all. The Predators, The Lost Tribes is such a well done and immense mod. It adds a ton of stuff. It adds predators as a playable race, so you can be one of, I think, 3 different races of predators.
Yeah.
Which you can have some customization to. It adds a ton of it adds predator armor in the world. Now I don't think it's added to level lists or anything. It's in predetermined places, and also predator weaponry, and also you can build your own like shoulder cannon, which has different variations that do different things, and also it adds predator camps. It pretty much simulates what would happen if Skyrim was like if a ship was crashed. There was like a Transformers thing. 2 ships were doing battle of space and they crashed on Skyrim, and there's different drop pods with supplies, and there's predator camps around, and also,
it pretty much follows Predator lore. I believe it does have the actual. I mean, like you say, it's 2 or 3. I can't remember their names. It's been so long, but the actual Predator factions, they're not quite races, but yeah, it follows Predator lore pretty closely, I think, if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, and it's great, and it also and just as an added bonus, it adds xenomorphs to Skyrim as well.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
As NPCs, so you could find a xenomorph nest in a new dungeon, or like you could be walking somewhere where you've walked 100 times, and there be xenomorphs, or they're little like dog-looking things, which the predators also have predator hounds, which there are enemy NPC predators. Most of them are enemies, but there's also, I'm not going to ruin where, but there's also a crashed friendly ship of predators that you can go and trade with and also enlist their help too.
Yeah, and there's patches for it for Frostfall and a couple of other mods. There are a couple of other Predator compatible. I have one. I'm just looking through my mod list here. I have one that says Predator compatible immersive armors. So there's something I found somewhere. Hang on. This is one thing that I can do for Mod Organizer. I can pop right into Nexus here. Yeah, it's just it's a patch for immersive armars. Probably to just add it to the level lists. What else is there?
Yeah, because they are. But you can't just throw on any clothes because they are bigger than the other races.
Right. Yep.
So they have different body meshes. So that patch is necessary if you want to wear some armors.
Right. And then there's also an audio Predator shout and sounds. I found that when I had planned to do a Predator playthrough, and so I collected some mods. I never really got around to it, but anyway, there's a mod called Predator shout and sounds to go with that. So
yeah, when I get a better PC, I'd love to do that for the ASA Twitch channel.
Oh yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, totally.
Predator playthrough in Skyrim.
Yep. Yeah,
great.
That's cool. Great pick.
So yeah, those are my 2 mods for SC, or for Legacy Skyrim.
Nice.
Okay, so let's move on to Fallout 4, which I know you personally have. You got a lot of Skyrim stuff going on, so you haven't been as on the Fallout 4 stuff as we were before, and I only was because I was waiting for SE to come out. Not that I'm not still playing it; I'm still playing it at least every few days, but not as much as Skyrim because it's the new in thing at the moment.
Yeah.
So what do you got for Fallout 4 recommendations?
God, why don't you go first while I desperately scramble to think of something? Because I forgot that. Here's the thing: I played a lot of Fallout 4 when it came out, but I was playing on my laptop, and I continually forget that I'm not playing on my laptop anymore. I'm playing on my desktop, and I don't have Mod Organizer for Fallout 4 right here at my fingertips, which I was just desperately looking for the icon, and then I realized, wait, I'm on the wrong computer. So while you talk, I'm gonna go looking for what I did use.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, so what I have for Fallout 4 for Xbox One and PC. I play it on Xbox One because my laptop won't handle Fallout 4. But for Xbox One, I have Advanced Perks by Moogram. It's not a perk overhaul by any means like a lot of the Skyrim ones are, but it adds an extra rank of every perk on the perk chart. And some of them will be mildly just adding more percentage to it, and other ones add a completely new effect. It's very cool, and unfortunately I haven't got a high enough level in any of the perks to actually use one yet, but I've read over a lot of them, and it's very nice touch.
Cool. And
also the Mercenary Pack by Drog Dukine. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mercenary Pack is clothing, merc clothing. It's actually from a couple mods put together, and I think they're all his mods. It adds a bunch of awesome looking merc clothing into the game, and you'll mostly find this on gunners. That was his basic focus. A lot of the armors and clothing, it's not just armor, but it's also clothing as well, is geared towards the gunners. So you can get a lot of that off them after taking them out. But you also find, like, I've had settlers come, new settlers come to my settlement with some of the clothing on. So, but it's very, very high quality, and also it looks legit. You don't look like, you don't have to make I make all my security guys wear it, all the guys that are pulling defense detail. They can look a little more legit than guys running around in rags defending my settlement. It'll be intimidating.
Absolutely.
So that's for both Xbox One and PC. Now for my PS4 pick for Fallout 4, which is one that I should have used a long time ago. I'm actually probably going to download this one here. Is Scrap the Settlement by Elric, which the E is a 3. It's basically one of the cleanup mods to get rid of a lot of the bramble, the wood pieces, and basically it's one of, what was the one you were promoting when?
Well, that's the one I was. Yeah, that's the one I was going to. That was sort of going to be my pick. So yeah, that's a good. No, totally, it's a perfect segue because they're alternate. It's called Spring Cleaning.
There you go. Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
I remember following your mod recommendations back then, and I was like, ooh, I gotta have one, and I never got it. But now I'm seeing that they have it for PS4, so I'm definitely gonna get it. Not only can you clean up the messes around your settlements, but it also when you scrap it for materials. Right. So if it's if it's broken up concrete, you'll get a piece of concrete.
Yeah. Spring Cleaning does the same thing. It adds, it does its own. It's sort of I guess by the mod author's choice, wherever that what you're scrapping, what category it goes into. But some of them are actually excellent. I forget what adhesive. Spring Cleaning allows you to pick up candles, and it classifies them as adhesive, which is great. Stuff like that. So yeah, Spring Cleaning, or what was the one you call it that you're
this one's called Scrap the Settlement.
Scrap the Settlement.
Or I'm sorry, Scrap That Settlement.
Scrap That Settlement. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's one of the first things I looked for when I started playing Fallout 4, because I'm again, I of the probably 500 some odd hours of Fallout 4 I've played, probably 150 at least were spent just tooling around settlements and cleaning up and building things and messing around. And I hate dirty streets. So I want to pick up all those leaf piles and all that rubble and all that crap because, I just can't believe that 200 years after the bombs fell that people wouldn't have swept their streets, so.
Yeah, what's Cogsworth been doing with all that time?
Yeah, really, he says he's been working on cleaning things up, but the place looks like a mess. So, yeah.
The geraniums. Oh, yeah, the geraniums. Why don't you clean up the floor, man?
Yeah, really. So yeah, there's that. And my other one was going to be, and honestly, it's been a while since I've played the game. And so I mentioned this with some trepidation and maybe some caveats because I know it's been a little bit controversial on, controversial is the wrong word. It hasn't been perfect on Skyrim, and that's Valdesil's item sorting. So I used it a lot when I was playing Fallout 4. I've never used an item sorting mod other than Sky UI, in Skyrim. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that Valdesil's has come along for SE because Sky UI isn't available yet, if it ever will be, because we don't have the script extenders for SE yet. And I know some people have had trouble with Valdesil's. I've read some posts and things where people have had to take it out and it hasn't worked perfectly. But it worked well for me in Fallout 4. So it's one of the two main sorting mods, I think. The other one is Def UI or something like that. So I use Valdesil's a lot, and it helped a great deal in just keeping things sorted. So those would be my two picks.
Yeah, if you're a PC user, changing the UI, because the UI is you can tell it's console friendly.
Yeah,
and that's all Bethesda. Well, that's all Elder Scrolls and Fallout games are pretty console centric, or however the hell you say.
Well, they're sort of optimized for console, and I think some people would say dumbed down for. I don't think that's fair, but they are certainly optimized for use on console. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Couldn't get that out there. Yeah, and I actually forgot that I had a separate listing for PC only. Now, these just two mods that go hand in hand that I saw in a video. I actually had to take 10 minutes to go back through some of the people I have subscriptions to on YouTube to find this video because I thought it was such a cool idea that we will not see on the consoles. Yeah, PC only Fallout 4 mod is Super Mutant Workshop.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I saw that.
And Super Mutant Close, both by M150.
Never played them, but I read up or something on it. It sounded like it was pretty, makes the mutants pretty tough, right?
Well, the workshop actually allows you to make super mutant settlers.
Oh, okay. So it's a different one. I thought it was okay.
It's adding it's adding a second workshop in not a work. It doesn't look like a workshop. It's basically a little item that you can put in your settlement, in settlements that you can add super mutants. You can make an entire settlement of super mutants, or you can add one to here, one to there. They said right now it was a max of 20 per settlement. But yeah, you can add super mutants, and they will act just like settlers. They'll defend. You can have them do the same tasks and whatnot. And then the super mutant clothes to go right on top of that, it adds a ton of custom, not necessarily custom because some of it's just resizing from vanilla assets, but a lot of custom made clothing for your super mutant settlers.
Cool.
And it actually adds like a little sewing machine that you go to make their clothing. And there's a lot of stuff like they have cauldrons that they'll go to make. They'll act like it's like a normal cooking thing because they won't use. I don't believe they use the normal stuff that your other settlers use, but the workshop has custom things for them to do.
Cool.
Defense posts. You can have them sell you stuff at the little shops, and pretty much everything. There's an equivalent for the super mutants as there are regular settlers.
Nice.
So I just thought, the guy showcased it on Oxhorn showcased it on one of his videos, and it was great. And he was loving it. He was having a good time. I was having a good time watching it. So I figured I'd go back and find that and recommend it for PC users.
Cool. All right.
So that's your mod fix. We're just some mods we recommend, and hope you guys at least find one that you enjoy.
Yeah, a lot of good ones in there, definitely.
Okay, well, let's move on to our community spotlight.
Community Spotlight!
All right. Good work, people. You really are one of the good guys.
Okay, welcome to our Community Spotlight. This is where we're going to each episode we're going to take someone or a certain sect of people in the modding community and explain how they benefit the community. And to this week, we're going to do it's going to be a broad range this week. We're going to go with YouTubers. A lot of times, as far as being part of the community, they're not really seen as part of the community, or they might be overlooked. But on the contrary, they are an important part of the modding community. Victor?
Absolutely. Oh, totally. And yes, and I think in future episodes, I'm sure we will spotlight individual YouTubers, because there's tons of them out there. But just in general, YouTube is really the place to go for to learn almost anything you want to know about modding. And also just about playing the game in general, or any game, really. I mean, sure, you can go to Twitch, and Twitch is a lot of fun, but I think YouTube tends to have, more, what's the word, maybe curated content, and certainly better produced content.
Streamlined.
Right, because it is produced instead of just being, streamed live. And so yeah, there's just so much great stuff out there, from Let's Plays, and just, in the subcategories of Let's Plays, there's, Let's Players who do, running commentary. There's Let's Players who actually do, full role play, which is a lot of fun to listen to. Sometimes it's excruciating to listen to as well, but it's a lot of fun, and certainly great tutorials and stuff. So yeah, YouTube is the place to go.
Okay, well, let's tell them some of the YouTubers that we watch and that help influence our modding experience, and reasons, like a couple reasons why each of them, what they offer the community. Okay,
well, I guess I'm just going to mention like one or two then, because there's so many, and we can mention more on following episodes. Right now, because it's current for me, I'm for Let's Plays. I got a shout out to Couch Warrior. He is awesome. He's a lot of fun, and it's a ton of content. So look up Couch Warrior TV on YouTube and enjoy. There's 2 or 3 very long and extremely detailed Let's Plays. The most current one is called The Passage, and I would highly recommend that you watch that one first. It's really good, and he's really slick. Very well done. Good stuff. So Couch Warrior. I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay. No, I did have quite a little list here, but it basically boils down to what all these YouTubers add. And like Victor said, something that I didn't really consider, because I don't watch a whole lot of Let's Plays, is that Let's Plays, offer sometimes at length, a vast amount of not only showing you their experience and offering, getting the wheels turning in your brain for you to try different stuff, but also the things they talk about while they're streaming that makes you, oh yeah, I never knew that, and it just came up general conversation for them. Me, I watch a lot of mod lists and a lot of mod showcases, mod spotlights, stuff like that. And for that, I mean, for Skyrim, for Legacy, my go-to was Bro Jewel.
Okay.
Because Bro Jewel he had a ton of material out, and it showed me a lot of mods that I wouldn't have otherwise noticed. He's not posting as much lately with SE, but with Legacy stuff, you can always find that. If you were to look for YouTubers that you would want guides on how to do modding, Gopher, as you've often plugged, Gopher definitely is one of the best tutorial, I guess you could call it tutorials, best examples of how to do things and how to do them safely, and just general advice on modding.
Yeah. And I would say, to be honest with you, if you want to know how to make a tutorial, go watch Gopher's videos, because the guy is freaking awesome. He is really talented. Whether you like him or not, whether you like the content he produces or not, that's how to make a tutorial. The guy is really good. So if for nothing else, it's a tutorial on making tutorials.
Absolutely.
Truly, there isn't anybody better. There's people that are almost as good, but there's nobody better.
Very classy, very very knowledgeable, very he's just all around, like you said, that's the way to do tutorials.
Yep.
Someone that I have been watching closely with the Fallout 4 scene is like I mentioned earlier, Oxhorn, and he does a ton of Fallout 4 stuff. I haven't really seen him do much Skyrim, but he does a ton of Fallout 4 stuff, everything from lore, like he explains a lot of different lore things to do with specific events in Fallout 4 and places, but a lot of mod showcase video, mod lists, a lot of descriptions and theories and stuff. And yeah, very knowledgeable, very, very well organized, and very, just a good YouTuber to watch. And then you have a lot of the YouTubers like Juicehead, Fever, Al Chestbreach, Cam and Seb, which used to be at GameSpot.
Yeah, he's good.
So those guys that'll actually give you mod lists and showcases a little less on the tutorial side, and some Let's Plays in there too.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Al Chestbreach. He's funny.
Yes, he is.
And he's done some great. Just for anybody who hasn't heard of him, he's done tons of stuff all the way back through New Vegas. In fact, a lot of New Vegas content.
Yeah.
And other stuff. So yeah, definitely worth seeking out. Yeah, I'm sort of skimming through mine to see if I have a. If you shall we. I'll mention one other then.
Sure, go for it. Yeah.
And this is somewhat near and dear to the ASA because we did a whole season of Fallout based on them, and that's Fudge Muppet.
Oh yeah.
And so they've done a lot of great. They started out really as Skyrim content producers. They've done a little bit of Let's Plays, but lots and lots and lots of character builds. That's sort of what they specialize in. So, and some mod showcases and stuff like that. But character builds, and I guess that's a category we didn't really mention. They're not the only ones that do that. There's some great character build YouTubers out there. We can spotlight those another time, but that's certainly another category of YouTube video.
Yeah. I didn't really associate them with modding, but you're right. I mean, their character builds are well, they're one of the best, at least according to. I mean, I've never done a Fudge Muppet build because I'm not a build kind of guy, but everybody who does, I've heard them all recommend Fudge Muppet builds.
Yeah. They generally try to do their builds based on vanilla game, but they have done some mod videos as well. So there you go.
Okay. Yep. YouTubers. I mean, yeah, like I said before, they're an integral part of the modding community, and get a lot of information out to us that we might not normally either be privy to or just happen to pass by.
Yep.
So, okay, well, let's check out our outstanding contracts.
Occasionally, I'll give you a contract with certain parameters. Stay within them, and you'll earn yourself a bonus.
Well, let's take a look at today's contract. Okay, here it is. Our fresh new category, well, fresh new show, but fresh new category called Outstanding Contracts. And this is going to go along the vein of the Dark Brotherhood contracts. They give you a contract, Nazir or whatever game you're playing on. Nazir or Astra gives you a contract, sends you out, gives you a mark, and you come back and you get paid if you complete the contract. So what I was thinking to do with this is very infant stage here. And what I was thinking of doing with this is making it like a game. And every episode, we're going to give you a contract and say, okay, now this is audio. And obviously a lot of this is going to be based on the honor system because it's not like we're going to require proof at the door that we're going to tell you to use a mod and, oh yeah, I used it. Yeah. You've used it for years. Sure. Yeah. We're going to take it on the honor system. Not that we won't enjoy receiving emails, detailing your account using the mod, and also some audio feedbacks. That would be cool too, that we can play on the show. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give you a mod, and let's get right into it because I'm not great at explaining things. Okay, so our contracts this week, we're gonna have a Fallout contract, and we're going to have a Elder Scrolls contract. And this week, let me put it in perspective. We're gonna try to pick mods, and we're gonna give you a mod for each game, Skyrim/Skyrim SE and Fallout 4. And we're gonna give you the mod, and we're gonna say, okay, try to do a playthrough, not necessarily a playthrough, but just test out this mod and tell us how it went. Tell us your experience. Tell us maybe something that happened that hasn't happened to you before. And this goes with some caveats. Victor, can you basically explain some of the risks?
Well, we're gonna try to pick mods that are kind of I don't want to call them low overhead, but at least mods that you can add and subtract from your game without too much trouble. However, I would say that it's always best once you've added a mod in and once it's baked into a save to just leave it there. So we're going to try to keep, we're going to try to make the selections as friendly as possible to those kinds of warnings. And you can try out the mod on a save. Make sure you keep track of where your save, where you started with the mod. Play an hour or so and see if you like the mod. If you don't, you haven't wasted a whole lot of time. You haven't invested a lot of energy into it. Just go back, delete the mod, and go back to the save that you were the save that was before the mod was added, and just go on your merry way. So those would be our caveats and mild warnings about adding and subtracting mods.
Excellent. Very well put. Yeah, and that's the basic gist of it. Make sure if you're gonna try these contracts out, make sure you do it after saving whatever you want, and try it either on a new save or on a new game or on a new save cycle, so call it, and that way you can go back to right where you're not losing anything other than time, and right. And who knows, you might want to keep it. Yep.
So, and if you're using a mod manager, and you know how to use the mod manager, then we don't need to tell you how to take care of things that way. Yeah. So. Yep.
Okay. So the two contracts this week. Or that's not this week. Whoa. We're not going to commit to a weekly show here. But this episode are for Skyrim. What did I put? There we go. For Skyrim, Immersive Wenches. Now, Victor's see, this mod is new to me with SE, but Victor's used this mod for a while. Victor, you could probably give a better
while. Oh gosh, oh no, don't put that.
Oh no, oh sorry.
I have used it before. It did come out for Legacy Skyrim, and I said, "Ooh, that looks like fun," so I threw it in there. And but you know what? I am going to take this contract myself, so I won't go into it. I'm going to add it into a save, and I'm going to play with it.
Okay.
So, of course, being a member of the ASA podcasting staff, I'm not eligible for any winnings. Of course.
Yes, yeah, and I will definitely go over, as he's mentioning, winnings. Physical winnings. I'll go over that portion after we get the mod list out here. Okay, so Skyrim. We're going with Immersive Wenches, and it may sound a little raunchy, but it's actually, especially with the three mods that I said before, Campfire, well, Bandolier a little less, but I need they're actually quite useful and cool. So it adds these wenches basically to work at the inns across Skyrim, and you also see them traveling to and from places. They do everything from selling you stuff at the inns, food and whatever, giving just general banter, to some more risque things that doesn't show anything. It's okay. You can play it around your children. But it uses vanilla dialogue, so there's no bad voice acting, or there's no lack of voice acting because it's all vanilla. But one of the cool things about it is if you use mods like I Need. They'll fill up your water skins and stuff like that. And I think they might also sell and buy stuff. If they become your follower, you can also enlist them to be your follower, which is not an easy feat. I tried replicating it. I got a Lynette as my wench follower, and a good follower. She's good in combat. She has some spells. She's casting like an area effect fear spell. I'm not expecting much out of this. I'm just happy that she'll fill my water skins up, so I brought her along. and next thing I know, she's helping me, take out several guys at once. I'm like, okay, well, you can stick around then. Very useful. So yeah, immersive wenches for Skyrim and Skyrim SE. Sorry, PlayStation folk. I apologize, but that's definitely not for PS4. But that mod, Immersive Wenches, is by Kazuke Hajime, I think is how you say it. Okay, let's move on to our Fallout 4 mod, which is a lot less cumbersome. Not that Immersive Wenches is too cumbersome. By the way, if you want to keep your save, you want to go the route of trying to keep your save after having Immersive Wenches, you want to uninstall it and keep on going with that save. Make sure that you don't have one as a follower, or try to keep it, any ties cut from the mod. And that goes for every mod. If you're going to bold the storm and delete a mod that's on your load order, active on your load order, make sure that no part of that mod is involving you. Like you're not carrying weapons from a weapon mod in your inventory, or anything like that. You don't have a follower from a follower mod and then try to get rid of it.
So break your save, and it'll cause you all kinds of problems. Yeah.
So either cut it clean with the wenches, or keep them. Okay. The Fallout 4 mod is Canine Harness by Fading Signal. And it's basic yet elegantly done. It gives dog meat, and you can also use it with other dogs found in the Commonwealth. A harness, like a Kevlar harness that you've seen. If you've ever seen bomb dogs in war and stuff, they also give them, some of them, Kevlar harnesses. And the harness also gives dog meat an armor rating, but also you can put pockets on it to help him give more carry weight, a backpack on it for more carry weight, and also patches. You can very cleverly done patches to depict whatever faction you're in, or I think there's some just general patches, maybe some like Red Rocket patches and stuff. I don't remember exactly all the patches that you could put on it, but and so it gives dog meat armor. You can upgrade it, and you can also add the pockets, the patches, the backpack, and stuff like that to make him a more viable follower. Not that he's not already. And now, if you do, the Fading Signal did say if you put the harness on like the dogs that you can buy in the game, there may be some clipping issues there because it was made for dog meat specifically, but it does work. So here's how this is going to work. Either of these two mods, you're going to pick a mod. You're either going to pick Immersive Wenches for Skyrim, or you're going to pick Canine Harness for Fallout 4. And you're going to pick this mod, and you're going to play the mod, and then you're either going to email us at asamodtalk@gmail.com, which will be also in the outro at the end, so if you need that, and tell us either in writing or an audio feedback your experience with that particular mod. And you're also going to tell us what kind of currency you want paid for this contract. So let's say you want to do Immersive Wenches. You're on the Skyrim thing right now. It's popular, and you want to do Immersive Wenches, and you play it, and you have a good time, or you don't have a good time with it, whatever. And you say, you said when you email back in your experience with it, and you say, I want caps for this contract. There's going to be two currencies, caps and septums. So you have to pick one or the other. It doesn't matter. You can do caps with Skyrim. You can do septums with Fallout. You're going to pick the mod, and you're going to pick what currency you want paid for your contract. So you're going to say, I did Immersive Wenches, and I want caps. For this week's mods are 200 caps or 200 septums. So I did Immersive Wenches. This is what happened, and I would like my contract paid in caps. So at the before next episode, we will do a drawing. We'll try to do it over Facebook Live or YouTube Live. I'm not exactly sure yet, but you can keep your ear out on the other ASA feeds. ASApodcasting.com will post something on there. Our YouTube group, our Facebook group. Well, I'll post something up there closer to time, and I'll do a live drawing. That way, there's no whatever anybody complaining that we're cheating and whatnot. And one person from each currency will get that submitted that we believe is legit submission.
All submissions are legit.
Until proven guilty, all submissions.
Until proven otherwise, yes.
Yeah, all submissions are legit. We'll pick one of each currency to win this week. So Larry Bird won this week's Septums, and Magic Johnson won this week's Caps. So Larry Bird will have 200 Septums, but we're gonna bank it. It's gonna be banked. Come on, Larry, you got to save here. It's all about saving, diversify your income and whatnot. So it's going to be, we're going to bank it. And then somewhere down the line, 3 episodes, 4 episodes, 6 episodes, 8 episodes, to be determined, we're going to draw, we're going to cash in. And the person with the most money from contracts will get a prize from each type. The person with the most septums at that point will get a prize, and the person with the most caps at that point will get a prize. Now, if you pick septums as your prize, or as what you're building up to, or you have the most of, then you'll get a Skyrim related prize, and the caps will get a Fallout related prize. It's not going to be your own suit of power armor. It's not going to be one of the horses from Whiterun in real life. It's not going to be anything crazy. Just a small trinket as a token of our appreciation for playing the game with us, for checking out the show, for being part of the ASA community.
And if we find out you're cheating, Strong will be visiting your place of residence.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to tell him you have a whole crate of milk of kindness in your basement. And he will find it. He won't give up. He's stubborn.
No, he's very stubborn.
Yes. So that is the game. That's how we're going to do that. And
sounds cool.
Yeah. Happy hunting. And I'm very much looking forward to checking out your submissions. Submissions will be taken at asamodtalk@gmail.com. Anything to add on that, Victor?
No, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Well, with our contracts handed out, happy hunting again. Let's check out our section. We'll be going elsewhere.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
We're not leaving you. We're just going elsewhere. Okay, welcome to Going Elsewhere. Just a final little wrap-up section where we're gonna plug some ASA business and basically say thanks for joining us and whatnot. Yeah. So Victor, do you have anything you'd like to add, comment on, express, and whatnot? You have the floor.
No, I think we've said a lot today. I think it's been a great episode. I think people have a lot to think about. All I would say is, be careful out there. Don't be a careless modder. Because there will be bitter tears if you are. That's my little piece of advice for tonight. So that's all I've got. I think we've done good. There's a lot of good mods to think about. I love the contract contest. I think it's going to be great. So that's it.
Excellent. And on that note, yes, mod users expect frustration. It's going to happen. My modding experience, I'm still getting crashed to desktops. I'm still getting frozen screens, the forever loading screen, all that stuff. We'll cover some of that stuff in particulars later on down the line on why some of these things happen and maybe some things to help you, some ways to help you prevent that.
Yeah.
But yes, and I just want to shout out Michael for the Godfather, Michael, for starting the ASA community. I've been listening for a while. I've been, slowly getting a little more active in the community, and I love it. These guys are great. Guys and gals are great, and I'm glad to be a part of any of these podcasts, let alone be able to sit here and shoot the shit with Victor and have our own little thing. That's great. It's fantastic. So what else? Okay, right now I'm going to play any ASA plugs we have.
Yeah.
For some, ads and whatnot. Let's roll them now.
Hello, ASA listeners. My name is Dennis, and I'm coming to you with a bit of random fun. You might have heard of the amazing Let's Play Skyrim series brought to you by ASA Podcasting. Well, here's a chance for you to become involved with the show. Our own frontman, Andrew, is going through the Bard's quest line in Skyrim. Well, in typical fashion, Andrew has quite a few helpers on the scene. What we need is our loyal ASA people to give Andrew's merry band a name. For every email submission, one per person, I will donate $1 to CFF. For the winner, I will donate $50 in their name, and they will get a very special Skyrim prize. I will also roll a D20 and multiply all the $1 donations by the result. So let's have some fun. The contest will last till the finale of the Barge College Let's Play. Give Andrew some cowbell and make him proud.
Please send all band name suggestions to thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. Thanks.
Following total atomic annihilation, it may fall to you to save the great nation. That's why Vault-Tec has made extra preparation and are proud to present to you a special education.
Would you like a very spiffy, brand new ASA podcasting t-shirt? Well, that's great because we have 2 brand new designs, one for a Skyrim Addict and one for the Fallout feed over at etsy.com/shop/ASA podcasting.
Supply the spark, so on seeing something sweet, be sure to scavenge your staff. The stronger you are, the smaller the
Hello, Wastelanders. Are you tired of the same old Diamond City Radio and GNR? Are you looking for a little bit more Brit in your broadcasting? Then look no further than WVR, West Vault Radio, broadcasting today for a brighter tomorrow. I'm Susan Reith, 16 times West Vault Radio Broadcaster of the Year. If you're looking for a little bit of music, some light entertainment, and the finest toast recipes in the wasteland, then look no further. To gain access to WVR, go to your nearest working terminal and open our archives at www.vault97.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Stitcher, and all other popular podcast distribution networks. We're also available on Twitter at West Vault Radio. If you'd like to listen to us on that old-fashioned thing called a Pip-Boy, we're also available on the Old World Radio Boston mod, which is accessible from the Fallout Nexus, whatever that is. So, for a more civilized and Vault-Tec approved listening experience, look no further. The West Vault Radio. Isn't that right, Mr. Wigglesworth?
Okay, and once again, we want to give many thanks to the ASA community, to the modding community, to the modders, to the YouTubers, to all you guys, to the listeners here, and all you guys for tuning in and for being a part of this awesome, awesome community.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Good night.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Modtalk, an ASA Podcasting Network presentation. Check out our other great podcasts on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, and of course, asapodcasting.com. You can reach us here at Modtalk via email at asamodtalk@gmail.com. Until next time, stay cool and mod on.